Imagine for a moment that you are a bird flying over the highlands of northern Ethiopia. Below you is a rugged, scorched landscape of red volcanic rock. It looks barren, silent, ordinary, but then you look down. Carved directly into the solid ground, plunging 40 feet into the belly of the earth, is a perfect, symmetrical cross. It is not built on the ground. It is liberated from it. There are no bricks, no mortar, no seams. It is a single, terrifyingly precise block of stone, hollowed out to create a cathedral that shouldn't exist. This is Lalibela. It is home to 11 medieval churches that defy the laws of engineering. Western historians look at these structures and ask, where are the tools? Where are the debris piles? How did they haul away millions of tons of rock without the wheel? But if you ask the local monks, they don't speak of engineering. They don't speak of cranes or chisels. They will look you in the eye and tell you the answer is quite simple. They say the men worked during the day, and the angels took the night shift. Welcome to the mystery of the angels. Welcome to the New Jerusalem. To understand the mystery, we have to go back to the 12th century. The world was in chaos. In the Holy Land, the Crusades were raging. The Muslims had captured Jerusalem in 1187, effectively shutting the gates of the Holy City to Christian pilgrims. For the Christians of Ethiopia, one of the oldest Christian nations on earth, this was a catastrophe. The pilgrimage to the tomb of Christ was dangerous, often deadly. Enter King Lalibela. History tells us he was a member of the Zagwe dynasty. Legend tells us he was destined for greatness from birth. His name, Lalibela, literally means the bees recognize his sovereignty, because a swarm of bees supposedly surrounded him as a baby, a prophecy of his future army. But King Lalibela had a vision. Tradition says he was taken up to heaven, where he was shown a city of such divine beauty that it made his soul ache. He was commanded by God to reproduce this celestial city on earth. If his people could not go to Jerusalem, he would bring Jerusalem to them. He would build a new Jerusalem right here in the volcanic highlands of Africa. But he wouldn't build it up toward the heavens like the vain towers of Babylon. He would carve it down, humbling himself before God. Now, let's look at this from a Western architectural perspective. Because what King Lalibela attempted is, frankly, madness. Almost every structure in human history, from the pyramids of Giza to the skyscrapers of New York, is additive. You take a stone, you place it on another stone. You add material. If you make a mistake, you take the brick off and try again. Lalibela is subtractive. The builders had to visualize the entire cathedral, every column, every window, every staircase, every drainage ditch before they made a single cut. They started at the surface of the volcanic rock and dug down. Think about the risk. One slip of the chisel, one crack in the rock structure, one miscalculation in the load-bearing walls. The entire church would be ruined. There is no undo button when you are carving solid rock. We are talking about 11 churches, not caves. Churches. Some are massive. Biete Giyorgis, the house of the savior of the world, is the largest monolithic church on the planet. It has 72 pillars inside and out. It is 100 feet long and 77 feet wide, and it is all one piece of stone. The floor you walk on is attached to the pillar you touch, which is attached to the roof above your head. It is a sculpture you can walk inside of. Geologists estimate that to create these 11 structures, the workers had to remove approximately 400,000 tons of rock. And here is where the mystery gets uncomfortable for historians. Where is the rock? If you excavate 400,000 tons of stone, you have to put it somewhere. Yet, the area around Lalibela is surprisingly clear of massive debris fields that match the volume of the extraction. And then there is the speed. Historical records suggest this entire complex was completed in roughly 24 years. 24 years. For context, the Cologne Cathedral in Germany took 632 years to finish. The Notre Dame in Paris took nearly 2 centuries to carve these 11 complex structures, complete with sophisticated drainage systems to prevent flooding, intricate tunnels, and ceremonial passageways in just 2 decades, using only hand chisels and medieval tools. It is mathematically improbable, if not impossible, for the human workforce available at the time. This brings us back to the legend that every Ethiopian child knows. The story goes that King Lalibela had a team of skilled masons and craftsmen. They were mortal men. They toiled under the hot African sun from dawn until dusk, chipping away at the red tuff. But when the sun set and the workers collapsed from exhaustion, the site did not go quiet. The locals believed that as the moon rose, a second crew arrived. They were not paid in gold or grain. They were the angels of the Lord. According to the texts, The angels worked twice as hard and twice as fast as the men. They carved the rock as if it was soft wax. When the human workers returned at dawn, they would find that feet of solid rock had disappeared overnight. The work had advanced by miracles. Western skeptics call this a myth to explain superior logistics. But when you stand in the deep trenches of Lalibela, in the dead of night, the silence is so heavy, so profound, that it is not hard to believe that something otherworldly had a hand in this. If there is one building that serves as the crown jewel of this angelic labor, it is Biete Giyorgis, the Church of St. George. This is the one you have likely seen in photos. It stands apart from the others, isolated in a deep pit. From above, it is a perfect Greek cross. The legend of its creation is fascinating. It is said that King Lalibela had finished the other churches when St. George the Dragon Slayer himself appeared to the king in full armor, riding his white horse. St. George was upset. He asked the king, "Why have you not built a house for me?" Horrified, the king promised to build the most beautiful church of all for the saint. The construction of Biete Giyorgis is flawless. The roof is decorated with nested crosses. The drainage is hidden, but if you look closely at the main entrance tunnel, there is a rough patch of rock. The priests will tell you that this is the hoofprint of St. George's horse, left there as the saint watched the angels finish his home. Step inside, and you are enveloped in cool, ancient air. The walls are smooth, darkened by centuries of incense and the hands of pilgrims. It feels like a bunker, a fortress, and a sanctuary all at once. You realize that this building has never been assembled. It has stood here, one with the earth, for 900 years. Earthquakes have struck this region. While modern buildings crumbled, the Rock-Hewn Churches held firm. They move with the earth, not against it. But the true miracle of Lalibela isn't the rock, it's the people. In the West, when we visit ancient sites like the Colosseum or the Parthenon, we are visiting ruins. They are dead skeletons of the past. Tourists take selfies, buy a magnet, and leave. Lalibela is different. Lalibela is alive. Every morning, before the sun crests the mountains, white-robed figures emerge from the mist. These are the pilgrims. Some have walked for weeks barefoot across the rugged terrain of Ethiopia to reach this holy ground. They descend into the tunnels, passing from darkness into light, reenacting the walk of Christ. They press their foreheads against the cold stone walls, the same walls King Lalibela touched 800 years ago. The chanting you hear, the rhythmic drumbeat, the smell of frankincense has not changed in nearly a millennium. This is what makes Lalibela unique in the world. It is not a museum. It is a functioning engine of faith. The mystery of how it was built matters less to them than why it was built. So, did angels really carve the rock of Lalibela? Did celestial beings descend with tools of light to help a pious king build a new Jerusalem? If you speak to an archaeologist, they will tell you about torque, leverage, and the incredible lost masonry skills of the Sakwe dynasty. They will tell you it is a triumph of human will. But if you go there, if you stand at the edge of the pit of St. George and look down, the scientific explanation feels almost too small. Perhaps the truth is somewhere in between. Perhaps the angels were the unexplainable burst of genius, the supernatural endurance, and the impossible faith that allowed mere humans to do the impossible. Whatever you believe, one thing is certain: Ethiopia holds a secret in its stone. A secret that whispers that when faith is strong enough, even the mountains will move. Thank you for watching. If you want to explore more mysteries of the Orthodox world, from the desert monasteries of Egypt to the hidden scrolls of the Levant, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell. Until next time, keep looking deeper.